I don't normally show my outlines. I love how Waffles thinks that it's like her time to shine. No, I don't normally show my outlines, but I need you guys to like. I doodled. I kept showing you guys the same pictures, so I wanted to doodle my own. Since we're going into the very last half of aliens and UFOs, this is part 3. Hey, thank you so much. This is part 3 of aliens and UFOs with myself and our special guest Alice. Alice is in the comments right now, and I will have her join in just a second. But if you guys don't know what this is Uncover Paranormal with Blair Woods. Hi, I'm Blair Woods. On my normal days, I'm a singer and I'm a songwriter, and I do the thing, we do the thing. But on Wednesdays, here at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go and we uncover the paranormal. If you don't know anything about me, I just told you a little bit. I will go ahead and dive in just a tad bit to who I am as a person. I'm also a clairvoyant, which, if you don't know what that means, it does mean that I can communicate with spirits. Have I? Yes. Does it terrify me? Absolutely. Do I do it anyways? Why not? Life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Life gave me the ability to see ghosts. I talk to him. It is what it is. Um, Poppy, sorry, hi guys. Welcome to Uncover Paranormal with Blair Woods. So, the week prior, of course, we shut the show down for maintenance. We were trying to do some things and it didn't work out. So we're back at least to finish part 3. Thank you. Hi, Louie. Thank you for the wheel. Hello. Was that Poppy? Was that Poppy? It was Poppy. Thank you. But when we first started this segment within Uncover Paranormal with Blair Woods, we started out with part 1, aliens, UFOs. We were kind of breaking it down. We were going over the history. We were going over sightings, the first sightings, where just it derived from in general, if we believed in it, if we didn't. And then we went over on part 2, the open discussion. We had a really cool open discussion with everybody about if they believed in them, if they did not, if there was a possibility that extraterrestrial life could exist. You guys who have been here and have been following this know my stance on it, but I will repeat myself just for those of you who don't know. I do believe that there is the possibility of extraterrestrial life out there, just because I think it's a little naive to think that we're the only living things out in this universe. So that being said, that's where I stand on it. We're going over aliens and UFOs. This is part 3. This is the last segment to this little series, if you will. And then we're going to hop back on the train to more spooky stuff, like spooky ghost type stuff. I've got a lot of topics for you guys. I've got a lot of really weird things that have happened to myself too. I have a cat up here. Don't mind her. All right, Waffles. Goodbye. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Uncover Paranormal with Blair Woods. Again, like I said, our guest is Alice, and we'll have Alice in just a bit come in the box, and we will kind of recap what her stance is on aliens as well. But those of you in the comments, just be thinking, because I'm going to ask you questions. I need you guys to be on your toes. I need you guys to be ready to answer questions and to be involved, get excited. We do like to ask you guys questions. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. So we will be getting back into the more spooky, like crazy stuff next week. But this is part 3, the final segment, to aliens and UFOs. For those of you who don't know in general what paranormal means, paranormal in a definition just basically is the denoting of events that are clairvoyant, telekinetic, etc., or the events that can't be explained by scientists. And as of right now, we don't really have any scientists necessarily explaining aliens. We don't have our government confirming any alien existence. We have our government releasing videos, but not quite confirming, and we will get into that later in the show tonight. Of course, Alice is going to tell you guys some more scary stories that she may have and recap on the alien, or I guess extraterrestrial sighting her friend had as well. For those of you who missed it, the first 2 parts. No, Tyler. So that being said, my main question throughout this whole thing is: do you believe in aliens? Do you believe in extraterrestrial beings, etc.? So that being said, we're gonna kind of hop into it. If you don't know what this is Uncover Paranormal with Blair Woods. I'm Blair Woods. Hello, hi. I'm a singer-songwriter, but on Wednesday nights again, I am a paranormal, I wouldn't say expert, a paranormal researcher. I think that's a better word for that. So we do this every Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. Don't forget. And of course, we're going to go ahead and hop into it. Miss Alice, if you want to go ahead and request the box, if you are there, rocks. That's incredible. I love that. Do elaborate in the comments. All right. We have Miss Alice. Okay, I'm making you medium really fast. All right.
That's fine.
Hi.
What up? Hi.
So
Hi,
for those
puppy.
who don't know, this is Alice. Please don't forget to favor Alice. I think I've got my hand underneath the right person.
Yeah.
That being said, Tyler, we can't say that right now. But you know my stance on that. I did a drawing for us tonight. You're good, Tyler. I did a drawing for us tonight because I was tired of showing the same pictures. So I did a drawing of a UFO and an alien.
That's cool.
It's probably backwards, but basically,
That's
I just
cool.
wanted to put that one out because if you don't already know what an unidentified object, that is me getting abducted. Yes, basically. If you already don't know what an unidentified object is or an alien is portrayed to be, that's essentially what it is. It's a spacecraft that it's not of human nature, or I guess material, human-made material. And then an alien, an extraterrestrial being, is of course a non-human. It's somebody not from Earth. So that's kind of like it in a gist. And we're gonna dive into it. I had Alice on here the last two parts as well. So Alice has been here through the history. She's been here through the open discussion. And Alice, today I'm going over
Yeah.
some current events regarding aliens and UFOs to wrap up everything. What are your thoughts? Go ahead and tell everyone your stance for those who don't know.
Okay. Ah, yeah. Like as I've said, like before, I 100%, 110% like believe that there is something 100% out there. Yet to see anything, which is kind of
Yeah.
disappointing. Obviously, my friend's views on it from what she saw. Um, but yeah, like I do believe there's something out there. Whether or not like it's gonna happen to me soon, I don't know. But yeah, like I do believe, and I do believe that there is like life on other planets besides our own. Like there are so many galaxies in the universe. It's like so vast. And obviously there are places that we haven't quite discovered yet. Um so yeah, no, I 100% believe there is something
Love
other
it.
than
Same.
us, obviously.
I think there definitely is. Someone did mention in the comments that the definition I just gave wasn't quite the correct definition. To specify in regards to UFOs, unidentified flying objects, we are only referring to the kind that are extraterrestrial in this little series. I do realize that they can also be normal, just things that we don't, we're trying to figure out what it is when in regards to sightings, but we are only referring to the ones that are out of this world. And so lame. I'm so sorry. Um, but that being said, we are going over that today. And we are going over just in general the latest news that I've seen the U.S. government release. We're going over kind of our conclusion as far as if we believe they're real. And we're going through and letting you guys also kind of chime in down in the comments as well with aliens. And then if Alice has anything as far as her own research that she would like to add, Alice, at any time, if you have to add anything like, hey, I also read this, or the deal. um
Yeah. Yep, yep.
so I love you guys' theories too. I see them. I'm reading them. I promise if I don't say all of them out loud, I still see them. So I love them. Ryan, that theory up above, wild, loved it. We're going to go ahead and dive in. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Uncover Paranormal with Blair Woods. We're going to go ahead and dive in to aliens and just in general what we know now. We do know someone did mention that they see them all the time in South Texas. South Texas is actually a hot spot for some reason for sightings. I don't know if that's because there's a bunch of, there's a military base and there's a bunch of stuff going on, or if that's actually like a spot. That was a theory. I think we had the last stream that South Texas could be like a potential like spot for extraterrestrial like landing, which totally open for that theory. Texas is a weird place, man. No offense to anybody that lives in Texas, but Texas got a lot of land. It's got a lot of places to hide people or aliens. So that being said, we're gonna go ahead and dive in. So Alice, I don't know if you've seen the recent news. Uh, right now the world's kind of crazy. I don't know, for those of you who are not in the US, if you've seen the news, you probably honestly watch our news just as comedy. We're not going to get too far into that part of it, but it's kind of a I'm trying to think of a correct way to word this without saying a bad word. It's a crazy show. um, there's been a lot going on. I censored myself. There's been a lot going on in the U.S. alone, let alone in the world. And there's been a lot of random hints towards aliens this year alone, which I thought was very strange. Like, why? Like, what? We had the Area 51 storm. We had so many people like, so interested in it this year alone. And I know it's always been something interesting, but this year alone, I feel like so many people have been interested in it. So many people have been crazy about it. And so far, the Pentagon usually is late to the game on this because, they like to wait forever until they, release anything. But they finally, on Friday, obviously last Friday, Poppy Stark, there was a raid Area 51 movement. There was legitimately a movement. But on Friday, the Pentagon confirmed that the creation of an agency used to track potential UFOs does exist. It is known as UAPTF, Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force. There was something very similar to this program about 5 years before its disbanding. Someone in the New York Times reported on it, and then they disbanded 5 years later in about 2012, and now they're redoing it. They're opening it back up. They're using they're funding it again. I should say they're funding it again. And the question was why. The question, of course, was why, because obviously with these programs, they label them as programs that can be used to track basically any kind of flying object that could potentially be a risk or a threat to the United States government. Of course, the United States in general, the population, there's a word for it, and I have it down here. The national security, that's the word, that's the term. But they always, they label these programs as things that can be used for that reason, and that's kind of where they let it stand professionally, so they don't have to comment on if it's about aliens or not. I've noticed in reading all of the articles, the Pentagon really does not want to come forward and say that they are looking into extraterrestrial life. In every article, they swerve around that topic. They're just like, it is unidentified objects, it is unidentified aerial, but it is not necessarily alien. It's not necessarily extraterrestrial. It's another country or a a practice run on a military base that wasn't actually given the okay, and they do it anyways. So there's a lot that they classify this underneath and try to cover up the fact that they also potentially use it to look for aliens. That is up for our discretion. That's up for our decision to make as far as if we believe it. However, it is kind of fishy that this program is funded again and they're using it again. They did finally admit on Friday that they are funding it, that they're using it. They, of course, claim it's used to track any UAPs, again, unidentified aerial phenomena. So that being said, when talking about anything to do with the Pentagon and released footage and everything, They still haven't confirmed that that released footage from 2004 and 2015 was actual aliens. They never confirmed that too. I noticed they try to like dodge that. They did say, however, that the videos from 2004 and 2015 were leaked. They were put out by the New York Times in 2017. I don't know if you guys remember those, but basically they were put out, and there was speculation of as to why the government didn't say anything about it. Hi, Jameson. And the Navy did acknowledge that they were real videos, that the videos were indeed actual footage. It wasn't edited footage. But the Pentagon didn't confirm until this year alone that it was real footage. However, they also didn't confirm that it was alien or extraterrestrial. They claimed that it was the objects that they found in the sky were of man-made, and then the one object that spun around a lot, they couldn't quite put a label on it. The only thing that they came down to conclusion on that was that it was a drone. However, the person who took the video said that there was no way that that could have been a drone. So that's up for debate. Of course, you've got people that are trying to come forward and say like, hey, like I took this video, or I saw this, or I reported on it, and this is what it is. And then you have, of course, the Pentagon going, well, you know, it was just a, you know, a government vehicle in the sky. Like they try to cover up everything, I feel like.
It really wasn't a flying object, it was something that someone created in their mind.
Yeah,
Look!
they're like, that's normal. Avert your eyes. That's normal. And there's plenty of reasons why they could be denying it. I do know from, if you're looking at it from a logic standpoint, if they themselves don't know, and they're still researching all of this and they're unsure, why would you tell the public something that you're unsure of? And then if it is real, you know, do they know much about it? That's another part too that I was kind of thinking of. If it is real, if it is an extraterrestrial flight, if it is an actual extraterrestrial UFO, do they know enough about it to confirm that it is? Because if they don't know enough about it, they're not going to tell us, because then we're going to obviously get scared and, you know, mass chaos. So I get why they would be hiding it. I understand why, but at least admit that you're tracking to see if it is. You know, I feel like the loop around on that program, they've admitted they have the program, but they won't admit that it's for extraterrestrial life. They just admit that it's for unidentified flying objects. That's it. Hi, section. So that's what I find kind of crazy. Another article, of course, in current events regarding UFOs and aliens has to do with the Department of Defense. And the Department of Defense did admit that, these videos were real. And they did go through and they clarified a few things, which I find is really interesting going forward into our alien talk and our alien discussion, and just in general as a species, as a human race going forward discussing it. This is interesting to keep in mind. The Department of Defense did not say that this was alien. They did not say it was extraterrestrial either, but they did clarify that when they released those videos as unclassified, they did not release those videos as declassified. Something really, 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 really important to take note: when something is unclassified, it was never classified to begin with. It was never something that was a secret. It was never something that they needed to keep hidden from anybody, from the public, etc. However, declassified would have meant that it was once classified, it was once hid from the public, it was once something of that importance, and now it's declassified. So I think that's really super important to remember. For those of you just coming in, hi, we're discussing aliens tonight. Chris! And I made a few sketches. I made a few sketches that are just as out of this world as Chris's rocket is. I saw that little gift. Thank you. I really need to calm down on watching Chris's show, because now I'm starting to do the dad jokes and I don't have any right to try to even to try to go there. But anyways, okay. The last two alien shows, I showed you guys the two exact same pictures. of a UFO and an alien. And again, in the discussion of UFOs,
Yeah.
aka unidentified flying objects, we are discussing only the paranormal, the extraterrestrial UFOs. So this is essentially what it is. You have your flight, you have your plane, your unidentified flying object, and then this is an alien dude. This is what we perceive aliens to look like. However, this is also Poppy Stark. However, we don't quite know. We don't quite know what aliens look like because we've never actually seen real footage. We have found footage. We have footage that hasn't been like stamped by our government officials saying like this is footage because they won't admit to it. So that being said, aliens, extraterrestrial beings could very well look like little gray men or green men. They could have antennas. They could also look like you and I. They could look identical to us. They could literally be another form of human species. Keep that in mind. Keep an open mind when you're discussing this. So, that being said, again, if you guys are new, hi, welcome to Uncover Paranormal with Blair Woods. We're discussing aliens. This is part 3. So, we are going through and we just went through basically all of the current events that we have on aliens, that I have on aliens. I'm going to let Alice kind of chime in. She's got her friend's story. Alice and I are very much invested in this discussion, and I love hearing from Alice. I love you guys getting her perspective because Alice goes hard. So Alice, the floor is yours.
Okay, so I'll really like cap with my friend's story. She doesn't mind me telling this now. I think she's kind of used to me telling this now. So
Maybe
her and her other, yeah, um, her and her other half were driving through Denver, and she was just like she just remembered she was the one driving and her other half wasn't, and he was like, "Here, babe, do you see this thing in the sky?" It was like literally hovering over woods, and she was like, "No, I'm not looking. I don't want it to be what I think it is. I'm gonna carry on driving." He was like, "No, you have to pull over. We need to video this. Like, we need to get this on camera." And she was like, "No, I'm not stopping. I don't want to stop. It's just not happening." She was point blank refusing until he was like, "Well, if you don't stop, I will take hold of the wheel and pull us over." And she pulled over in the end. And she just remembers like keeping the engine going on the car whilst he hops out. And she's filming this thing floating in midair. And by the way, guys, no, it wasn't a plane or a jet. Even when I saw the footage, I was a bit like, what the fuck is this? Excuse my language. Um, and literally, you see this thing go from one side of the road, it like completely vanishes and then reappears on the absolute other side of the road. And he's filming this throughout the whole entire time. And he was like, all you can hear in the video is him go, "What the fuck has just happened?" And like my friend, all you can hear is then her go, "Can you hurry up and get in the goddamn car? We are leaving now." And when they were driving off, he was still filming this floating object above woods, which then literally you could see it how quick it then moved, and it was literally like seconds before it disappeared. All you can hear is my friend in the car is just going, "Well, if we don't make it to our next destination, you're dead," pretty much. She was gonna kill her other half. And he wanted to leak this video out on YouTube. She was pure adamant that she was like, if it is aliens, no, we are not releasing this to the general public, because she was like, I am not being abducted. I don't want to be taken anywhere. I don't want to be experimented on. She was just adamant that it's just not going to happen. And
Honestly, she's
I
kind
even
of
to this
smart
day,
in
I take the
that,
mic.
though.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
She's
100%. But
smart.
like she even today, even like today, she's still adamant for the video to not be released on YouTube. I've said just go ahead and do it regardless.
You should at least tell her to send it to you and send it to me. I won't post it. I just want to see it so bad. But she definitely is smart, because the last time that we were discussing, like having open discussion, we learned too that all of the instances
Mm,
of aliens in general, or I guess I should say
yeah,
extraterrestrial sightings, UFO sightings, all that good stuff. All of those instances, thank you guys, have been reoccurring. So like once like something happens or they get in touch the
yeah.
first time, they come back. So
Mm,
like that's
yeah.
terrifying. I definitely get
And
why
that's
she
what I
would want
think.
to.
Yeah, and it's scary for her because she's never seen anything like it. And it's kind of like I get where she's coming from, because I think if I witnessed that, um, like I would be a bit like, what? But then I'm one of these people that goes, do you know what? If you're gonna abduct me, then go for it. There's really nothing interesting to kind of see about myself. If you want to adopt anything, adopt the cat. She's probably more interesting than myself. And plus, I don't
I
mind if I never see her
personally,
again. No, I'm joking.
yeah.
I love you, really.
See,
Um,
I'm the
but
person
you
that's
know,
like, "Oh, ship me off to space right now. If you really want to abduct
yeah,
and whatever, like just ship me off to space. I'm here for it. Whatever. I'm down for an adventure. I got
yeah.
nothing better to do, man." But but
They're listening.
I'm over. You and I are like, let's go. Your friend is like, absolutely not. No, thank you. I
Yeah,
think my favorite part about that story every time you tell it is the fact that she's like, if that's what I think it is, no, thank you. Like she already knew. That's
yeah,
so crazy. I
yeah,
feel like you also get a feeling. It's kind of like anything paranormal. You kind of get a feeling too, because a lot of the people that have
yeah,
seen, you know, extraterrestrial like beings or UFOs, they all explain it as like a really like they knew it was kind of happening before it happened, and they
yeah,
had that feeling, like gut feeling. um and
yeah,
I feel like that's not only like our instincts telling us, but also just the general like kind of feeling that everybody who's had an experience with UFOs or with what they claim to be extraterrestrial beings, you know,
yeah,
they all have that same like almost sickness, like that uneasiness, where it's just like,
yeah,
all right, I know what this is. I don't like it, but I know what this is.
yeah,
Um, so I
yeah.
definitely think
If
that
she'd
like,
had her choice, they wouldn't. Like I say, if she'd had the choice, she wouldn't have probably pulled
yeah,
over. But
oh
because
for
he was like proper like nagging at her to pull over, and he's one of these people that would just like, well, if you don't pull out over, I will literally hop out the car whilst it's sort of moving still. And she didn't obviously want him to do that, so she had no choice but to pull over. But she was like, I kid you not. She was like, I was revving the car. Molly, don't get in the bloody bag. Oh, God, sorry. I'm going to have to get my cat. She's
both of
literally
our
just gone into
are
a carrier
really
bag.
causing like wreaking havoc. Waffles is down here scratching stuff too. I'm like, why now? Um,
Yeah.
So, those of you just coming in, hi, welcome to Uncover Paranormal with Blair Woods. We're going over aliens and UFOs, specifically speaking of the UFOs, unidentified flying objects that are extraterrestrial. And, it'd be great if I could speak English correctly. But we are going over aliens and UFOs, and we are discussing them with Miss Alice right here. Do not forget to favorite Alice. And guys, we do Uncover Paranormal every Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm Blair Woods. I'm also a clairvoyant. Have I had experiences with aliens? Not that I know of. For those of you who did miss the open discussion, though, when Alice and I both were kind of going over the experiences we know about, there was a new one that I had told you guys about the last time, and I'll go ahead and reiterate it really fast before we get back into aliens and current events. So that being said, whenever Haley and I were driving down a road that was kind of next to and again, this could totally be because it was next to an Air Force base, but we were driving down next to an Air Force base, and like some of the weirdest, like we live, Haley and I are from here, so like we've seen a lot of things. We've seen a lot of weird things that were like, okay, like whatever, but we always like say like, it's probably just an aircraft, whatever. Well, we were going down like a really long like road too, and we just saw this thing like zip across the sky. And the first time I was like, maybe it's maybe it's a shooting star or something. I don't know. And that's not,
Yeah.
aliens are not the first thing that come to my mind, because I know there's other phenomena that like happens. But the second time
Yeah.
it happened, it was literally, it shot across the sky. You couldn't see it for a minute, and then a big flash, like a flashbang, happened on the other side. And I was like, all right, shooting stars don't do that. And there wasn't any meteor fall. There wasn't anything supposedly crashing into the earth that night either. So it was just really strange. And I've never had an experience with UFOs. My expertise, if you will, lies more with the spirit realm than the alien realm. However, that night was very strange, and just
Mm.
everything in general about that night was kind of weird. And if you guys, by the way, in the comments have had any sort of extraterrestrial related experience, tell us in the comments. We do want to hear about it while we're having this discussion. Alice just told us about her friends, which is really, really wacky, man. That is freaky. That is so
Mm.
scary. I feel like it's more scary because it's not like they're invisible like ghosts. Like, aliens could be real and they
Mm.
could just be like other humans and we don't know their intents. And I think the
Mm.
unknown intentions behind it is what frightens me the most. But very interesting nonetheless. Uh, that being said, we're going back into aliens, UFOs, talking about current events. You guys know that this past Friday, the Pentagon and Department of Defense did confirm that the videos that were leaked in 2017 of a video in 2004 and then 2015 were real footage. They were real found footage of unidentified flying objects. They did not confirm if they're alien or extraterrestrial. They did confirm that they were real, though, and that they were released from their department. But again, they did confirm that they were unclassified, not declassified. The difference is, of course, unclassified, it was never classified to begin with, and declassified, meaning that it was once classified and now it is not classified. It's released for the public. So, Alice, what do you think about it?
Yeah.
And Alice, you're from the UK, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
I am indeed.
UK, in the US, we just talked about it too. Texas is like a hot spot for sightings, but we talked about it the very first
Yeah.
part one of aliens. An interesting thing is that United States has the most sightings and the most recorded confirmed
Yep.
sightings, uh, confirmed by our government, meaning. And that being said, what about the UK? Tell us over there what you know about it. Tell us your experience. Go
Yeah.
for it.
I know in certain areas of the UK there have been like sightings of unexplained objects, as the Brits now call it.
Yeah.
I know there's been a couple in like Manchester and never like that. It's like they don't want to come down south. They like up north for some bizarre reason. Maybe it's just because it's cold. I don't know, but yeah, they seem to like the north. And there've been like videos. There's been pictures of them. Like one woman, I think it was just the other side of Manchester, who actually sent a picture to like the local newspaper,
Ooh.
and it was from her bedroom window, and she couldn't explain this flying object that was in the sky, and it wasn't a plane, it was just literally hovering. It was actually hovering over somebody's house, which was really weird. It was like the most bizarrest of things. And you probably could Google the
Yeah.
story, and she got absolute ridiculed and for this picture, because she was like, oh no, everyone's like, no, it's a fake, blah blah blah, someone's just like probably out the window or something holding. And she's like, no, she's like, when I went outside, this object disappeared above this house. She was like, I went to this house to see if these people were okay, because she was obviously concerned that the house that where it was floating above, these people obviously got abducted, and they didn't, but she was obviously a bit like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But the weirdest thing is when she released that to the local paper, she had a telephone call from a US government. She never said specifically who it was, because she then leaked that out also to the newspaper that she'd had this specific phone call, and that they were asking all of the newspapers where she'd obviously sent this picture to basically get rid of every single newspaper that she'd posted or to ask them to print this picture.
Oh my
And
god.
she'd had this phone call. So she had to ring the local newspaper to say, you're going to have to either burn every newspaper where you've posted that picture. She's like, I've had a
That's something.
telephone call from like the US government.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she
That's
was a bit like,
something
how on earth did
like,
they get my number?
yeah, that's something that I have like questions on too. Is I've noticed a lot of the um a lot of the people who do claim no waffles. A lot of the people who do claim to have had like an experience like that do have the US government reach out
Yeah.
if they like publish anything. If I were your friend, I'd be more worried about the US government than anything. But like my question is why?
Yeah.
If you're so adamant about,
Yeah.
hiding this, why? Like I get hiding maybe like
Yeah.
your own footage, but someone else's footage, like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
So obviously
To be fair, I
something
think
is
the
out
woman was
there.
pretty mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously something is out
And
there
like that's
trying to
yeah,
like
like I
hide.
say, it's all yeah. Majority of our cases have been like either covered up. They've been they a lot of people are aware that we've had sightings here in the UK, but a lot of it has been covered up. So it's not out in the public for very long. You're probably looking like a matter of days before it then gets covered up by something else.
Yeah.
I know around like Cornwall, Devon, around like Stonehenge, which is a big, massive tourist attraction here in the UK. If nobody knows what Stonehenge is, please look it up.
Mm.
They say that's they say with Stonehenge that has, I don't know, some force that obviously attracts UFOs and flying. No, I can't say the word now. Like flying objects to literally people have seen things literally hovering over Stonehenge, which is very bizarre. Literally, like I say, the problem is it's only like leaked out for like probably a couple of days before it then gets completely covered up by like, no, you didn't see that. It just ignore it. It wasn't what you think it is. It's something completely else. Yeah, it gets even by the British press. It gets covered up completely by like, no, just ignore what you saw. It's no, it's just a plane, and you're like, is it though? Is it? I don't think it
That
is.
makes me like
It doesn't look
wonder.
like a plane.
Because you know how in like the research for like now this is so far fetched, so nobody come for me before this because obviously this is so far above my pay grade, it's not even funny. But um hi Quinn, that in space research and stuff like that, like I feel like a lot of times it's done between the countries, and all
Yeah,
of the countries kind of consult with each other, and and just like certain things are shared amongst the
yeah,
officials, and their spacecraft, like of course we have NASA, so like just shared amongst everybody's like research facilities. I wonder if that's the same
yeah,
thing, and I wonder if they all have agreed to like cover it up until they
yeah.
know for sure. And I wonder
Yeah,
if
more
just
than likely.
yeah, I wonder if just to like ease our minds, or at least to keep us at bay, because the US government, I don't know about other governments obviously because I'm not from anywhere else, but the US government
Hmm.
is really really quick to distract us and like
Yeah.
release things to distract us from bigger events happening. And that
Yeah.
being said, I have to wonder if because they do know something's out there and they know we know, they know that we're like not stupid, you know, we realize that something has to be
Yeah.
out. There's been too many sightings from humans to say
Oh
otherwise.
yeah.
And obviously, like we can't be the only ones in existence. I think again that is really naive to think that we are the only living beings in existence in this universe.
Mm.
But I feel like since they're still trying to learn about it, since they're still trying to figure it out and figure out what it means, if they just like release like little tidbits here and there just to keep us at bay, just like happy, you know, like
Oh yeah.
okay, like what we're doing right now, discussing it and wondering
Yeah.
and stuff. And meanwhile they're in their labs laughing like yeah, we just talked about the alien
we
one's
we
really
we know this
boring.
shit's going down. Sod the rest of the world. Ha ha ha. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
exactly.
no
Like
kidding.
even I've contemplated wondering that whether people just sit in like a lab somewhere, just going, "Ha! Guess what? We all know. People want us to speculate, but we all know the truth." Will people really find out?
Exactly. Well,
We'll
because they
see.
release stuff like this, and they
Yeah.
release stuff like this, and then like Pentagon comments on it, and you know, if the Pentagon's commenting on something, we're gonna pay
Yeah.
attention to it because, like, all right, well, if they're actually saying, but they're not gonna ever. They've never
Yeah.
in the history of releasing documents, they have never actually actively come out and said that it was extraterrestrial or that it was a UFO of extraterrestrial nature. They just
Mm,
say that the footage is real and that is it. And I have to wonder if aliens aren't our biggest issue or concern. I have to wonder if there's something else out there that's like
mm,
scarier, like more concerning than
mm.
just other aliens, you know? Like, you know, just
I like
keeping it
how
real,
Jonathan's
keeping our
like
minds nice to
zombies.
ourselves. It's
Yeah.
a
Well,
alien.
this is it. Um. By the way, there is never gonna be a zombie apocalypse. I'm pretty warning you now. I'm just telling you, there's never ever gonna be a zombie apocalypse. So don't worry, people.
We're good on that.
And trust
That
me,
we
if
have.
there is, I know how to survive it.
Alice is like, Alice is like, I say that now, and there's going to be one, but I know how to survive it.
Yeah. Way too many episodes of watching Walking Dead. I'm telling you, it kind of gives you good ideas on how to survive these things. Yeah, I like that alien apocalypse. Well, you never know, puppy stug. You just don't know. Like we've said before, I think like if I'm being honest, I'm sure like Molly's not a cat really. I'm sure she's an alien. She just pretends to be a cat. She's not really a cat.
I would like to say
Who knows?
Waffles is
Waffles might not be a
100%
cat.
alien because my cat is basically a
Yeah.
human. I'm one of those that does believe, I believe aliens could very well look like us or at least have of the
Mm.
same nature as humans. My cat's 100% alien, 10 out of 10. She's got too many human
Yeah.
characteristics.
I like that. It's the exact same with Molly. Like I've contemplated, like, you never know. Like my friend, the one who I was telling you about, the one who had the whole Denver thing, like when
Yeah,
COVID first like came out, she was like, it's not really China that caused COVID. She went, I'm telling you, it's from when we saw that bloody thing in Denver. And I'm like, she's convinced that it is alien related. She's like, it's not really China. It's really
she's
not China.
paranoid.
I don't believe it's China. Yeah, she's literally got that paranoid that she literally thinks it's like any of the slightest thing. And I'm like, really? You really think COVID's caused by aliens? She went, well, you never know. She said it could be their attack on us. You never
Honestly,
know. It's
2020
like,
was a
it might not
crazy
be
year.
China.
2020 was a crazy year, and
Yeah.
2021 is already off to a crazy start. So at this point, I am not shocked at
Mm,
anything. I believe anything can happen. Um, and that is where I stand on that. And by the way, guys, if you guys are just popping in,
yeah.
this is Uncovered Paranormal with Blair Woods. We have our guest Alice right here. Don't forget to favorite her, guys. And we are going over aliens. This is part 3. We are about to wrap it up. I do have a really cool, scary story for you guys, paranormal related at the very end of this stream. Alice, you're gonna love this because I know you love ghost things. Some weird,
Oh
you
yeah.
know what just happened. It always does. It always does when I least expect it, or when I'm doing research like this for like aliens and stuff like that. Weird stuff always happens to me, and I really just wish it wouldn't. I want good stuff to happen. I don't want weird stuff. But if you guys are just popping in, we just went over aliens. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm a singer songwriter, but on Wednesdays I am your neighborhood clairvoyant. Hello, hi. I really am clairvoyant, guys. I do have a lot of stories. We did tell a lot of stories, but I have one spooky one to add to the very end of this, since we are wrapping up aliens and since we are talking about the unknown. Um, so aliens in general hold a special place in my heart because I do believe that they're real. I do believe that. That being said, there's a possibility of different types of aliens and stuff. Whether or not you guys believe in the paranormal, keep an open mind when you are in my stream. Keep in mind that these experiences that I have, like, I would like to preface this because I get a lot of questions that are just kind of disrespectful in general for people who are not believers. But no, I am not on drugs. No, I do not do hallucinogens. I'm actually 100% healthy. The things that I see are very real and very terrifying. Why do I see them? I don't know. I really wish I didn't. I really wish I could give it away. Like someone else can have it. I don't want it. Um, but for those of you who don't know, we are getting back into really spooky streams next week. So next Wednesday, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're getting back into the ghost side of paranormal since we're finishing up the alien side. And just as a preview, a preface, I guess, if you will, to next week, I wanted to tell you guys something that happened within the past 2 days. And it was just a little sequence of events that lead up to a little bit more that I'll go in detail more with in next week's stream. But I thought that I'd share it at the end of this one as a preface, also with Alice in the Box, because I know that Alice loves paranormal stuff. That's why Alice and I vibe. We vibe because she
Yep.
loves paranormal stuff. So I am going to tell you guys something that happened in the last 2 days. So that you guys know I've been traveling. If you don't know, hi, I've been traveling. Safely, of course. I just had to go up and go see my uncle and then come back down. So I was hanging with Haley, my cousin, my uncle, the last weekend. And as I was making my trip back down, I made several like little short stops to kind of rest. And usually when I stop, I'll stay in my car and get on TikTok. I always reference TikTok, but I promise it's not because I am like stupid, because some TikToks really do like speak to me and just ring true. And so I've been seeing, of course, a lot of TikToks on aliens, which is why we dove into this. The recent TikTok I saw, though, that actually terrified me, because I have a very similar story to it that we will get into, because it is a long story that we will get into next week. As a beginning, I guess, for it, the girl was basically talking about how she ran into someone who claims he had sold his soul to the devil. Have I sold my soul? No, I don't think so. But basically, weird stuff always happens to me. I've seen ghosts, I've seen a lot of things, and I can't explain it other than the feeling I get and the thing that I see, and I'm just like, all right, well, I'm guessing that's that. I've seen the angel of death twice. Have I died? No, knock on wood. But basically, a long time ago, about 2 years exact to the date a week ago, 2 years exact to the date a week ago, I had a really strange dream. And I didn't think anything of it because it's just a dream. Normally, I don't think anything of my dreams because they're just dreams. And so I dream very vividly. And in the dream, I was in a dark room with a dude, 6'5", whatever, very handsome. And he asked me if I wanted to make a deal. And I was like, all right, that's a little sketch. Like, I don't know. Give me some time. Let me think about it. Like, I don't know. You guys know I'm in the music industry. So obviously, when someone comes up to you and they're like, do you want to make a deal? That's sketchy. I don't like it. I don't vibe with that. Like, that's not what I'm in the music industry for. Um, So that being said, puppy story. um, that being said, I was
Puppy dogs like it was me.
like in my groove, and then I saw that broke me. That being said, I do. I've heard of these stories. I've heard of these wild stories of people selling their souls. It's one of those things that because I am spiritual, I just don't think that you can necessarily sell your soul. It's not a physical thing. It's not something you can just give. It's your essence, and it was just very strange in general. The whole thing. Fast forward to a couple months after that, there were a bunch of weird things, and again, I am going to go into depth in that we stream about it. But fast forward a couple months, I get asked the same question in the dream, same room, same guy, everything. Very weird. I've never seen this guy in my life. I can't see his face because in the dream, both times his face was just pitch black. Like there was no actual face, but everything else about him screamed handsome, 6'5" man. So I don't know. I don't know how else to explain that feeling, but that's like the feeling I got. Like I don't know. I don't understand. Um, that being said, asked me the same question again. And in the dream, I signed off on something. Do I know what it was for? No, I don't. Um, However, fast forward to yesterday when I was on TikTok and I was perusing through on one of my breaks back home. This girl was basically telling this like 9-part series story about how she was like, she had met someone who had sold their soul and then realized that they were possessed. By the way, I'm not possessed. I feel like I would know if I was possessed. But weird stuff did happen
Mm.
because her friend also did the same thing, and her friend was telling her stuff about when it happened in the dream, how she was visited once, how after that she was visited again and signed off on something unknowingly, and then weird stuff started happening. She started feeling like something was following her, that there was a dark presence around her, that just like weird things would happen, like really good things would happen, and then like, there would be like really trying times. And so, those of you who are familiar with like the idea of selling your soul, normally it does come at a price, so you kind of get tested, and the devil is never fair with it. So that being said, when this girl was going through everything that she had went through, I was like, oh, oh, I don't like that. Oh, I really don't like that, because then the girl that was talking about the guy that she met that had talked about selling his soul, that he was possessed and stuff like that, had sold his soul in a dream, and the same
Mm.
concept applied to his situation too, which I thought was very strange. So that being said, I do know a little bit about like how the process would work because I was curious. I did a lot of Googling, and my FBI person that's looking at my searches is probably like, this girl's crazy. But but I did a lot of searching, and the stuff that I have found and then the people I have asked have all told me that there is a process. You have to, your soul has to be worthy. You, like someone actually said it above, you do have to be in tune with your soul. You have to be very in tune with it. And the people who are successful in selling their soul, they are in tune with their soul. They're very like secure, and then also in that state they don't try too hard to sell their soul. They're not actively seeking, which I'm pretty in tune with my soul, and I definitely was not seeking to sell my soul. Do I believe that I did it in a dream? I don't really know. And this is why we're going to go through every little event ever and all the spooky things next stream. But as a preface, something very strange happened once that was kind of reopened, because I haven't really thought about this since like 2 years ago when, all of the main stuff was happening, the main events, like the very drastic events were like unfolding in my life. And so I was like, I saw those two TikToks, those two different people, and I was like, all right, because like again, like I said, I was never the type to believe that you could sell your soul. Like that just didn't make sense to me. I'm very spiritual. I believe in my personal opinion, I believe we come from source. I don't believe that our soul, our essence is something, our energy is something that you can just sell, especially not to another entity. I've never really grasped that, but it's still scary nonetheless because of the things that happen after. And it could also just be coincidental. and playing tricks on me because I am spiritual and I am in tune with the other side as well. So it could be just me being punked, honestly, by the spirit world. However, however, um, last night as I get home, and of course everybody's asleep because I get home at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Everybody's asleep that I know of. I get home, I'm like laying in my bed, I get back up, I have to get some things, and then I lay back in my bed and I'm just kind of chilling here. I've got Waffles with me, mind you. It's just Waffles and I in this room. Waffles is my cat. And so I'm lying in this room. I've got these lights on, these lights stay on. So these lights above, these like uh LED lights, I guess, stay on, and no other lights were on. Well, my lights started flickering for one. They're brand new LED lights. Brand new. I have used them at this point 3 times now. 3 times. Today is the third time because I literally had to replace them because the LED lights that I had just bought to do the room the first time you guys saw my smart room, they've already broken. So these are brand new strip lights that I bought, brand spanking new, not from a cheap brand either. They were very expensive. And so it was a very strange thing. It started blinking. So I was like, all right, whatever. I got up, I turned it off with the remote. I was like, I'll just sleep in the dark. It's fine. And then they were off. Please note that they were off. They were literally, where's my remote? They were off, like off. Nothing, no color, off. And they started blinking after I put my remote down and got back in the bed. And I was like, mind you, the whole video and the instances and the dream, selling your soul in the dreams was still fresh in my mind because I was panicking over it. I was literally having a panic attack over it. I was like, no one has ever shared that experience with me. I'm scared. So like I'm terrified at this point. I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And so I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm literally doing alien research, finishing it up today. I'm home alone. I had the hall light on right out here. I had the door open so Waffles could go and explore and do her kitty stuff while I did this. Lights started to flicker. Very strange. So I was like, all right, whatever. It's fine. It's cool. It's whatever. I went out there to go turn the light off. Kicker. I don't remember when I turned the light off in the hallway, but apparently it was already off. Because whenever I went to go turn it off, the button was already off. We only have one switch. So I don't know how that worked. I don't know how it was flickering while it wasn't even on. I was like, all right, all of this weird stuff, and I'm looking up alien stuff, and all of this is happening. I don't think so. So that has been my past 2 days. Just wanted to let you guys in on that little. There's never been a ghost in my house, and I don't feel a presence. That's the thing too, is that anytime I've ever come in contact with a spirit, whether it be bad or good, I feel it. I feel it. Like I can't describe it other than I feel it. It's there. Its presence is known. There was no feeling. There's no feeling like I was being like watched. And I've had that feeling where right after the whole dream thing, I had that like weird feeling like a dark presence was watching me. Just as that girl had said. But this time in my room, nothing. I was like, all right. Something's going on, and either I'm being punked by the spirit world, aliens are punking me, or it's a mixture of the two. But either way, those two coincidences were literally the lights were off both times, different types. That's why I wanted to mention the hallway lights too, because those are just regular lights. Like your light. How did a light do that? That's terrifying. All right. Well, I'll let my mom know. Would really hate for everything to go up in flames too, added on to all this. But if you can't tell, I have a really demented sense of humor. But that's been the last 2 days of my life, guys. Very crazy, very insane. I still did this. I was really, really scared. Sometimes I back out of topics if they scare me, but I still wanted to do this. I still wanted to finish out the alien topic because I was like, Alice and I have literally done so well keeping up with the last 2 alien shows. I did not want to pop out. I did not want to be like, Alice, we're not doing aliens. Some weird stuff was happening. So those are the 2 things that have been happening the last 2 days. I know. Very sketch. Very not fun. Are you going to
Mm.
say yes someday? Yes to what? I'm sorry. What? I'm scared now. Oh, the devil. Well, because I don't believe it exists, probably not. You know? But also that's me. So like, eh, I don't know. I don't know. Alice,
Mm.
what's your take on that before we head off?
Oh, that is like, do you know what? That's a bit like an experience that I've kind of had. Um, like to the point where lights have been flickering and I've gone to the light switch and gone,
Mhm.
hmm, hello, that's weird. Okay. And it's really weird because I had this was way back many years ago, and I had a light, like an LED light, stand light. It was before ring lights came out, and I was doing a makeup tutorial, and halfway through my makeup tutorial, I like done about a ghost hunt 3 days prior, and I knew that something had obviously followed me home because the cat was acting very strange. She wouldn't go certain areas of like the house or the flat. So I knew something had followed me home, and I could sense it was there. I knew something was there, and whatever I tried to do to get rid of it, it was just not budging. It was like, no, sod you, I'm staying. And I believe I still have that presence around me today, which is
Same,
weird.
same, same.
And yeah, and and my LED light, I was doing this makeup tutorial for YouTube, and all of a sudden my LED light just literally turns off. Now the only way to turn this LED off is literally by closing it down. It doesn't normally turn off. It's normally you flip it up and it stays on. And this LED light all of a sudden just turned off, and I was a bit like, okay. Please turn it back on. And within seconds after me saying that, it literally came back on. And I was like, shit. And I went to go make myself a coffee and I put my dinner in the microwave. And I set the microwave for a specific time. Come back, the microwave time had changed. I wish now I'd recorded it. Yeah, it literally had. Yeah, the microwave time had changed on my like dinner. It's like it had been stopped, reset, added extra timings to it. My dinner was freaking hot, by the way. But yeah, I had really weird things happen. I had taps come on, like in the bathroom. My sink tap would turn on, the bath would turn on, bath tap would turn on. Even the shower. Molly was in my bathroom. She was laying in the bathtub and the shower came on. It frightened the life out of her, so she literally jumped out of the bath. Uh, yeah, it scared her more than anything because it like she's never been in a bathtub where all of a sudden the shower just automatically
Yeah,
turned on. My mate was like, "What the fuck's happening in
yeah.
your place right about now?" I was like, "I'm telling you, it's this thing that's followed me
Yeah,
back."
we had that happen
Huh?
in the Palmdale house that
Yeah.
told you guys all about, where it was the weird stuff, and Waffles was in the shower too. That was another thing that happened, is the shower just like randomly turned on one day. Poor Waffles, she hates water. Waffles is not about it. Waffles just like, all right, now Waffles refuses to go in any tub. Waffles is
Mm.
like, no, no, thank you. By the way, really fast, like a PSA to anybody, and I, as someone who is dabbling in um the spirit world, and just witchcraft in general, not necessarily like dark witchcraft, like don't get scared, but like light working type stuff, and just like in general, light witchcraft, like protective witchcraft. Please, if you are not um indigenous, if you are not of the tribe that uses the practice of white sage, don't use white sage. Just like a PSA. Like that's like,
Mm.
there's a lot, especially when you start dealing with herbs, and with just crystals in general, and and practices and chants, there's a lot that, you need to make sure that you're using the correct, what's the word for it, that you're using just in general the correct tactics, the correct practices for it. And if you are not of certain tribes that use white sage specifically, you have no business using it, because it is a private practice. Anything at all, that's a private practice, please, if you have time or you were here for that. But I know, like, for me, I don't know, Alice, if you have any sort of heritage.
Yeah.
I know I'm.
Oh no, I completely agree
Yeah.
with that. Like, completely agree with that. Like, I know so many people who've used the wrong, like my friends, when they've had stuff happen in their homes and they've tried to like get rid of unwanted entities and things like that, it's they've used the wrong stuff, and then I've had to go in and kind of step in and kind of like take control of the
Yeah.
situation. um and then I've had to then like kind of find right protection crystals for them so it doesn't kind of re-enter their home.
Yeah.
And it is a lot of hard work, and especially when you do have to find out that person's history, and like especially with protection crystals, you have to then find the origin of the house, and things like that, what sort of areas that you're looking
Exactly.
to like potentially stop anything from coming in. you know yeah, my friend has never seen so many crystals in her entire life. Like, she has got them like literally round by her windows, up above where her doors are, because literally she's just, it really petrified her what was in her home,
Yeah.
and so she's got them everywhere, which I've had to place. um but yeah, no, 100%. If you don't know what you're, basically, I've always said this, and even when I've gone ghost hunting, people have said it to me as well. If you don't know what you're specifically looking to go for or what you're looking to find, then don't do it. And it's the same, like my friend, she knows that I have this, and I make it quite clear that I do have a Ouija board, people. I know how to use one. I've used one many, many times, and I know the correct way in using it. I'm telling you now, please don't go out and buy one, because they are not brilliant. They are not what you think they are. So please do not buy one. I've had mine for a very, very, very long time. It's bloody old, like legit, it's ancient.
Yeah.
And I purely use mine for ghost hunting. So I'm putting it out there, please
Yeah.
don't
That's another
dabble in
thing
it.
too.
You
That's
will get a lot of bad
Yeah,
juju.
the Ouija boards are another thing I feel like so many people try to mess with, and that's another. It's not necessarily that it's a private practice, but it is an old practice.
Yeah,
You need to really know what you're doing before you touch things like that.
yeah,
Obviously, Alice, she's been ghost hunting for years. She knows what she's
yeah.
doing. This is something that she is very knowledgeable on, so she knows what not to do and what to do when using these. It's like whenever you're cooking, you're not gonna sit
Mm.
there and uh, you know, use an oven if you don't know how to use it. Use a gas stove if you don't know how to use it.
Mm.
You'll catch something on fire, you'll burn something.
Mm.
You want to make sure that you understand how to use it and understand how to do what you're doing before you do
Exactly.
it.
This is it, and I've known so many people who have done the Ouija board who have then opened a portal to all sorts of things. I've known many people to have done it, and I'm like, why? And they're like, oh, well, I didn't get a response when I was doing the portal. Well, doesn't matter. You're still opening up that portal. You're still inviting a lot of things in. It might not be the good thing that you're wanting to invite in. A lot of it's normally demonic, especially demonic
Yeah.
imps. They're the worst, and I have come across quite a few of them in the past. Who normally, by the way, if anyone wants to know what a demonic imp is, they kind of have that child. They pretend they're children. So if you go to a abandoned place and you hear a lot of like young children giggling and
Mm,
laughing, by the way, that's them. It's not actually a child that has passed on.
the worst.
Just giving
The
you.
worst. I don't know what it is about.
Yeah, they are. They are
I had
horrible.
Choff in here when we did Black Eyed Children one time, and he put it the best when he was saying something
Yeah.
about like children and being like it's something about a child and it being demonic that's just creepy as
Yeah,
heck, man. Like, oh, no, thank you. And I feel like demons
yeah.
like know that.
I've got EVPs of children, like, or what claim to be children. Like I've got I don't have it here because at work I don't bring that stuff when I'm at
Yeah.
work. But yeah, on one of my EVPs, I've literally got like a little, what sounds like a little girl saying hello about 3 times. And when I did a spirit box session, she came through on the spirit box session. And the first thing I actually said is, "Are you a child?" And it said no. I
Ugh.
was like, okay, I know that I'm not dealing with a little girl.
Amazing. Well,
So yeah, so a lot of like demonic imps can manipulate.
yeah,
Just saying.
that's crazy. That's no.
And I've dealt with them, and it's not
If
nice.
you guys are just joining in, this is the very tail
Yeah,
end.
it's like I've dealt with a lot.
Yeah, this is the fairy tale end of Uncover Paranormal with Blair Woods. Alice and I are going back over some creepy stuff. We did aliens and UFOs, our final segment.
Yeah.
Alice, I would love to have you back in for just a stream in general when we go back over demons. There's a lot that I haven't done in regards to ghosts and spirits just
Yeah.
because it's something that's like very sensitive topic to me. I normally pick like things that are make believe. Um, but I
Mm,
would really love to partner with you on some
yeah.
things. Alice, if you want, guys, don't forget to favorite Alice. Alice, if
Yeah.
you want to plug anything right now, if you've got anything in the works that you do, let them know. Alice is someone who also speaks to, or not just, but
Yeah.
communicates with the other side, guys. Alice has been doing this for much longer than I've even known. I think that I've been a clairvoyant, but Alice is so knowledgeable, and I just love hearing her stories. So, Alice,
Yeah, oddly enough, I'm doing something similar to you, but it's called Ghost Talk, and I'm kind of been looking at like stories. I piloted a show on Monday. I am looking for guests, by the way. So yeah, Blair, if you're ever interested. Um, so yeah, it's pretty much Ghost Talk, and like my recent story was about a hotel in LA called the Cecil Hotel, which is famous and renowned for being haunted. As Puppy Start will tell you, I think I freaked him out with one of the true stories that actually did happen about a girl that passed away in that hotel. She was found in the water tank of the hotel
oh,
8 months later.
oh,
So yeah, it was kind of gross because they were drinking that water from that
oh
tank.
no.
Yeah, it was gross.
Oh, ew. School, ew.
And her spirit to this day remains in that hotel. They actually, if anyone's a fan of American Horror Story, one of the episodes that they did from American Horror Story, the hotel, that is actually based on the Cecil Hotel in LA,
Wow.
by the way.
I love that.
Because a lot of murders happened in that hotel in real life, and there's renowned it, like Ghost Adventures literally did a episode of it not that long ago. So if you want to check it out, it is on YouTube. I recommend it, just to even watch them doing their show there. It weird shit happened even on their show in the hotel. I really kind of want to go to experience it for myself.
I want to go with you though. I'm
But I've got
curious.
so many things next year. But yeah, a lot of weird stuff happens there. Yeah, it's just like the hotel, by the way, is still up and running. I know they only accept small amount of guests, especially on like, I think it's like if you go from floor 7 above, is basically closed off to the public. Their rooms aren't open. They're not, like, if you went in one of the bedrooms, there's no bed, there's nothing in there, because literally from floor 7 and above is deemed literally like I can't say the word uninhabitable. So basically it's like so bad because literally from floor 7 is where she went missing. So
Hmm.
everything above that level is literally, they don't let any of the general public go up there, but from like floor 2 up to floor 6 is the cut-off
I
point.
wonder if someone opened a portal. I
I
have to
believe.
wonder.
But even that saying,
I have to wonder if someone like someone a long time ago was like messing
yeah,
around and
like,
opened a portal, and now those whole floors are all just like
yeah,
screwed. Because why else would she like?
there was a serial killer who lived at the hotel.
Ooh.
So there's a couple of serial killers that actually lived at the hotel. One of them, you can Google it. I can't remember his name, but he literally did satanic rituals at the hotel, and literally they found like the pentagram in his room. They reckon he did a pentagram in one of the water tanks. Which a lot of people, especially clairvoyants and mediums, when they go, they say there's a pentagram on one of the water tanks at the hotel. But as far as I'm aware, the hotel is like you say, you can, yeah,
Alice.
it's really, really bizarre. Like I know quite a few people who have gone and stayed.
Bucket list. We have to go. As a clairvoyant myself, we are running out of time.
Sorry.
I've got 4 minutes. As a clairvoyant myself, I am somebody who I don't go and look for that stuff unless I have someone else with me that knows how to either A, protect me, or that knows how to get rid of whatever is around, because I'm still learning that myself. I don't know how to do that. I just know that they like to come up to me and they like to talk to me or make their presence known, or walk through me occasionally. But I will not go anywhere like that unless I have someone with me that can do that. But bucket list, I would love to go and see that.
Yeah, it's something, it's on my to-do list. So I am wondering when I'm in LA, if I get enough time, maybe I might venture up to where the hotel is and just see if I can wheedle my way in.
Yeah, just like,
okay. I'm like, hi, this is who I am. Can I come in and do a little bit of ghost hunting, please? And see what they say. But yeah, I know it's super hard to get anywhere, and it was hard enough trying to get the Winchester house to let me kind of do my own thing, and I'm like, oh, no, that literally has just been okay. So yeah, it's.
Well, guys, do not forget to
stay tuned, guys.
Alice. She also does ghost streams, so please, please, please go favor her. She's such a sweetheart. She's so knowledgeable, and I love hearing her stories. We are going to go ahead and wrap up tonight. Alice, thank you so much for doing not only part 1, part 2, but part 3 of aliens and UFOs. Keep your minds open, guys, because literally the end of all this research is still the question of, well, we haven't got a definite answer. So, keep your minds open, keep like listening to the news, keep looking at reports if you guys are really curious about just aliens in general, extraterrestrial life, and keep your eyes peeled for everything around you, because it's not just spirits walking out there, it's totally aliens walking next to you. Your next door neighbor could totally be an extraterrestrial.
Scary thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Alice, I hope you have a wonderful night, love.
They're planning. And you. Bye, guys. See you soon.
I'm dead. Oh my god. Terrible thought. Okay, guys, we are gonna go ahead and log off. Thank you guys so much for joining. That was so much fun. Keep your minds open. Like I said, keep your eyes open. So much love. Thank you so much, Alice. Guys, do not forget to favor her. Alice G7 right here, right here, right here. Do not forget to favor her. Show her some love as well. And we will be back next week with some wild stuff. Some wild, wild stuff. I'm going to use this as my chance for you guys to also help me figure out what the heck is going on, because it's crazy, man, and it's not fun. It's scary. So that being said, with Eleanor Rigby, yes, literally my favorite song. Anyways, I will see you guys probably later tonight. I'm going to go take a break, and we'll do like a little hangout stream or something after this. So I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to, I am a singer-songwriter. You guys can find Blair Woods on Spotify. Shameless plug. And we do this show, Uncover Paranormal, every Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. Be kind to each other. Be kind to those around you. And always keep your eyes open.